Stop waiting. Give yourself 6 months, not a lifetime, not vague resolutions, 6 months to change everything. This is a 6-month war plan, daily tactics, brutal truth, and rituals that remake habits, status, and identity. Treat the next 180 days like mission critical. No excuses, no slow hope. Start today, follow the plan, and watch the world adjust to the new you, right now. Chapter 1. Stop proving, start doing. This is simple. This is brutal. You have a choice. You can keep polishing a performance for others, or you can produce results for yourself. You have a choice. That choice makes the difference between noise and progress. Proving is a performance. It looks like posts. It looks like drafts. It looks like presentations that never turn into products. It comforts the ego. It steals time. It feels like work. It is not work. Doing is raw. It's messy. It is work. It shows in results. Actions outvote applause. Say it now. Say it loud. Actions outvote applause. Listen to this. The loudest person gets the most eyes. The quietest worker gets the most outcomes. You do not need applause to succeed. You do not need permission to start. You don't need their permission. You have the one permission that matters. Start. This chapter is a tactical assault on proving. It is a practical plan to make doing inevitable. It is not motivational fluff. It is a manual. Follow it. First, understand the lie. The lie is that visibility equals value. The lie sells comfort. The truth is blunt. Visibility without delivery is vanity. You can look busy for years, or you can ship something in a week. Which one changes your life? Actions outvote applause. Example. A designer had ideas for years. The portfolio always felt incomplete. Perfection was the excuse. Then one shift happened. The designer chose to ship every day for 90 days. Not perfect, not pretty, complete. Ship, ship, ship. 90 small deliveries, 90 proofs. Clients noticed. Referrals followed. Income doubled. The world did not reward the plan. It rewarded the delivered work. Actions outvote applause. That story is not rare. It is replicable. It is repeatable. You have a choice. Now the rule. Pick one metric. Pick one task. Pick 1 hour each day. One metric. Choose what matters. Revenue, subscribers, files completed. Output that is measurable. Not vague goals. A number. A metric you can check at the end of the day. That's the key. One task. Choose the smallest meaningful unit that moves the metric. Not 100 things. One thing. Ship one deliverable. Write one page. Send one email. Make one version. That's the key. 1 hour. Protect that hour like cash. Block it on the calendar. Defend it. Nothing goes in. No meetings. No consumption. No edits. Use that hour to move the metric with the task. 1 hour. Every day. That's the key. Repeat the ritual. Before the hour begins, stand up. Breathe. Say aloud, I do the work. Say it like you mean it. Say it again. I do the work. Ritualize the start. Ritualize the finish. Close the hour and mark it complete. Track it. Streaks matter. Streaks create identity. Identity is not a sentence. Identity is repetition. Do the hour 10 days in a row and you are someone who does the hour. Do the hour 30 days and you are someone who ships. Do the hour 90 days and clients believe you. Do the hour and your identity shifts. You have a choice. You will resist. You will rationalize. Old habits will whisper. Comparison will scream. That is normal. Name it. Say, this is resistance. I choose action. Say it again. You have a choice. A simple tactic. Public commitment. Tell one person. Post one update. Accountability compounds. But publicizing is not the work. It only tightens the consequence. Do not confuse announcement with production. Announcement without delivery is performance. Actions outvote applause. Another tactic. Reduce scope. Perfection is a luxury. Perfection is a paralyzing lie. Narrow the work until it is unavoidable. If the task is build a product, narrow it to build page 1. Narrow further. Build the headline and primary CTA. Finish that. Ship it. Ship, ship, ship. Accept the humble first version. It will be messy. It will be imperfect. That matters less than completion. The market will refine it. Feedback will improve it. You will learn faster when something exists. The faster you produce, the faster you learn. That's the key. You must also cut the signal thieves, notifications, endless plans, research rabbit holes. They make you feel productive. They are not. They are substitutes. Block them during your hour. Close tabs, close apps, no social scroll, no half work, no excuses. Protect the hour, protect the outcome. Measurement is merciless. Record one number each day. Did the metric move? Yes or no? No gray, no drama, just numbers. Numbers teach you faster than feelings. Patterns show. Adjust, repeat, fail, learn, act. That's the key. Let's be clear about why this works. People overvalue brilliance. They undervalue repetition. Talent is often a story we tell to excuse action. It's not about talent. It's about discipline. It's not about talent. It's about discipline. Say that twice. Let it land. Discipline means showing up daily. Discipline means shipping repeatedly. Discipline wins. You have a choice. Keep proving. Keep polishing. Keep waiting for the perfect moment. Or choose daily action. Choose to ship. Choose to measure. Choose the hour. Choose the ritual. Choose the streak. Here are immediate actionable steps for the next 24 hours. Pick your metric. Write it down. One clear number. Pick your single task that moves that metric. Break it tiny. Block 1 hour on the calendar tomorrow. Protect it. Before the hour starts, say aloud, I do the work. At the end of the hour, mark the day complete. Record the number. Do this for 7 days. Track the streak. If you miss, restart immediately. No excuses, no delay. Streaks rebuild identity. Identity changes outcomes. Remember these lines. Repeat them until they are true in your bones. Actions outvote applause. You have a choice. You don't need their permission. It's not about talent. It's about discipline. Ship, ship, ship. You mastered the truth that doing beats proving. You created a small system that makes doing inevitable. That system is the first brick in a new life. Now you mastered your fear. Now let's talk about the true currency of your life.
Chapter 2. Kill small comforts, harvest giant gains. You have a choice. You can live comfortable and small, or you can trade tiny comforts for massive gains. You have a choice. Comfort compounds. Comfort creeps. One small allowance becomes a habit. Habits become a life. Comfort is a slow thief. Comfort steals minutes. Minutes become months. Months become wasted years. Comfort costs. Action pays. Comfort costs. Action pays. This chapter is a surgical strike. Remove small comforts, reclaim time. Convert that time into relentless output. That's the key. Listen to the example. 1 hour of passive scrolling each night. 1 hour. Swap it for 30 minutes of focused work and 30 minutes of rest. Replace passive with active. Focused work wins. Results follow. A designer who took that swap gained 2 new portfolio pieces each week. 2 pieces turned into clients. Clients turned into revenue. The math is simple. Comfort costs, action pays. You don't need their permission. You don't need permission to stop the scrolling. You don't need permission to mute the app. You don't need permission to own your time. You have a choice. Start with the 30-day comfort audit. This is practical. This is ruthless. Do it today. Step 1. List 3 tiny comforts you will remove for 30 days. Pick obvious ones. Auto scroll, background TV, constant notifications. Pick things that steal minutes without improving life. Pick 3. No excuses. That's the key. Step 2. Reallocate the recovered minutes. Track the minutes lost each day from those comforts for 1 week. Add them. Convert minutes into outcomes. 15 minutes a day is 105 minutes a week. 105 minutes turns into 2 focused sessions. 2 focused sessions move metrics. You will see this. Measure it. Numbers do not lie. Step 3. Replace, don't punish. When you strip a comfort, replace it with a high-value action. If you remove auto-scroll, replace it with 20 minutes of deliberate learning and 10 minutes of application. If you remove TV, replace it with 1 30-minute creative block. If you mute notifications, replace it with a 5-minute micro-review at the top of your hour. Replace comforts with craft. That's the key. Step 4. Ritualize the report. Every Sunday, write what was lost and what was built. Keep it simple. 1 column, lost. 1 column, built. Example entry. Lost, 45 men scrolling. Built, 2 new thumbnail drafts. Do this weekly. The ritual breeds accountability. Lose a little comfort, gain a lot of life. Lose a little comfort, gain a lot of life. Now the psychology. Comfort is seductive. The brain seeks easy dopamine. The brain prefers frictionless rewards. That's biology. Use discipline to redirect biology. It's not about blame. It's not about willpower alone. It's not about shame. It's not about comfort. It's about discipline. Say that. It's not about comfort. It's about discipline. Discipline is a muscle. It grows with reps. Remove 1 small comfort and you practice discipline. Do it again and you strengthen it. 30 days of cuts builds a new baseline. You will tolerate less mediocrity. You will value time differently. You will make better trades. That's the key. Expect resistance. The first week will feel empty. Old habits will nudge. You will rationalize. You will tell yourself, I deserve this, or I need to unwind. Fair. But the truth is simple. Unwinding without purpose steals progress. You have a choice. Choose the work. Choose the craft. Choose the result. Here is a concrete 30-day plan you can start tonight. Pick 3 comforts to remove. Auto-scroll, background TV, push notifications. Log the time those comforts take for 7 days. Use a timer or a quick note. Be honest. Create a replacement plan. 20 to 30 minutes of focused output each recovered hour. Concrete tasks only, no fluff. Set a daily end-of-day note. Today I lost X minutes. Today I built Y outcome. Do a weekly summary every Sunday. 1 sentence. This week I lost blank and built blank. Post it privately. Keep the streak. Make the rules public to 1 person. Tell a friend. Tell an accountability partner. You don't need their permission to start, but you can use consequence to keep you honest. Public accountability compresses excuses. It does not replace execution. Remember that. Actions outvote applause. Now the tactics for real environments. Phones. Use app timers. Use focus modes. Hide social apps in a folder labeled Breaks. Make them Mullany to reach. Reduce friction to productive tasks. Force friction on comfort. Force friction and you choose the easy path to work. Home. Kill background noise. Use curated music only during work blocks. If the TV is on by habit, unplug or move the remote to another room. Out of sight increases friction. Increased friction saves minutes. Work. Combine small comforts into a comfort tax. For every 10 minutes lost to comfort, add a 10-minute productivity tax at the end of the day. Make it physical. Do the work you avoided. This builds discipline. It makes comfort costly. Money. Small comforts often cost money. Subscriptions, delivery, memberships that are useless. Cancel the ones you never open. Reinvest that money into a high-value book,
course, or tool. Invest in skill, not stuff. That's the key. Keep repeating the phrase, lose a little comfort, gain a lot of life. Lose a little comfort, gain a lot of life. Let it hit you. Let it sink. Be brutal in measurement. Minutes are the currency. Track them. Convert them. The compound effect is not mystical. It is arithmetic. 15 minutes a day becomes 91 hours in a year. 91 hours equals a serious skill shift. 91 hours equals a product. 91 hours equals leverage. That's the key. One last truth. Cutting comforts test relationships. People will notice. People will question. They will ask why you changed TVs, phones, patterns. You don't need their permission. You don't need their approval. You need the results. You have a choice. Choose progress. You burned small comforts to make space. You learned to value minutes. You created simple, repeatable tactics to convert time into outcomes. That is the starting currency of the 6-month war plan. You burned the comforts. Now, let's talk about how identity actually forms.
Chapter 3. Your identity follows actions. You have a choice. You can say who you are, or you can become who you say. You have a choice. Most people talk identity. They post labels. They collect titles. That's comfort. That's shallow. Identity is not declared. Identity is earned. Identity is repetition. Do the work until you become the person who does the work. Do it until it fits. Say that now. Do it until it fits. This chapter is simple and surgical. It strips the drama. It gives rules. It gives tactics. It forces action. You have a choice. First truth. Words without acts are noise. A title on a bio means nothing if the calendar is empty. A self-description changes nothing unless it is proven daily with action. That is the key. Actions lock identity into place. Actions outvote intention. You have a choice. Example. Someone decides to be a runner. They don't talk about it. They run. Every morning at 6 days a week, for months. Not perfect, not heroic, repetitive. The body adapts. The mind accepts. The label becomes true. The world treats them differently. That's the key. Do it until it fits. You don't need their permission. You don't need approval. You don't need a certificate. The only permission required is your own. Start. Start now. Here is the tactical framework. Use it. It is brutal. It is clear. Step 1. Choose one identity. Pick one identity and make it unambiguous. The competent creator, the reliable closers, the morning writer. One line, not a list. One identity that matters to your goals. Write it. Stick it on a note. Repeat it. You have a choice. Step 2. Enact 5 identity-confirming acts daily. 5 actions, small, concrete, repetitive. If the identity is competent creator, the 5 acts might be write 500 words, publish 1 update, send 1 draft to a client, learn 1 new technique for 20 minutes, review feedback for 10 minutes. Do all 5 every day, no exceptions. Do it until it fits. That's the key. Step 3. Make the acts measurable. Numbers remove drama. Count outputs. 500 words, 1 email, 20 minutes. Not work on project, specifics only. At the end of the day, mark yes or no. Keep a simple log. Streaks build identity. That is the key. Step 4. Use anchors and cues. Identity is built by environment. Anchor actions to times and places. Morning coffee equals write. Commute equals listen to a lesson. Lunch equals outreach. Ritualize context. The cue triggers the act. The act confirms the identity. Repeat the cue until the act is automatic. Do it until it fits. That's the key. Step 5. Make immediate, tiny proof. Every day produce something that proves you were the person. A draft, a sent email, a public note, a recorded minute. Keep a visible proof box. It could be a folder, a post, a sent receipts list. Evidence matters. When doubt creeps in, open the box. You built proof. You are becoming the person. You have a choice. Now, the mindset tactics. These are non-negotiable. Refuse excuse labels. Replace "I'm not X" with "I am becoming X." Today's proof equals action. Say it, write it, post it privately if needed. The language change rewires behavior. You don't play victim, you act. That is the key. It's not about talent, it's about discipline. Say that aloud. Say it twice. Talent is a story. Discipline is a metric. Talent excuses. Discipline executes. The habitual person wins because they show up, not because they were born special, not because they had a lucky break. Discipline is the currency of identity. That's the key. Expect friction. Expect resistance. Old identity fights for its life. Comfort will tempt you with old narratives. I used to be this. I can't change now. Those are lies. You have a choice. You can answer the voice with action. You can prove the new identity with another small act. Do it again. Do it again. Do it until it fits. Use microtests to force belief. A microtest is a single instance of behavior that costs little but proves a lot. Run one 20-minute session instead of none. Send one honest message instead of silence. Ship one small draft instead of endless revision. These tests compound into a new baseline. That is the key. Scale via escalation. Once 5 acts are habitual, increase the stakes. Add one more act. Increase the duration. Make the tasks slightly harder. Identity expands by pressure. Small pressure. Consistent pressure. Not dramatic. Steady. That's the key. Guard against identity hijackers. Praise, titles, and applause can fake progress. Busy work can masquerade as growth. If a task does not confirm the identity for the day, it is not a confirming act. Cut it. Protect your acts. Protect your time. Protect your ritual. You don't need their permission. You need the habit. Use accountability as armor. Tell one person what identity you are adopting. Report daily for 7 days. The external cost reduces fudging. Public commitment is a leverage tool. But don't confuse public statements with private acts. Announcing without acting is proving, not becoming. Actions outvote applause. Measure weekly. On Sunday, answer 3 questions. What confirming acts happened? What failed? What is tomorrow's proof? One-line answers. Keep it brutal. Repeat the log. Streaks become identity. The social test will come. People will ask you why you changed. They will test you with old expectations. You will be tempted to justify. Don't. Show them the proof. Silence the argument with work. The result is louder than the explanation. You have a choice. Make your identity visible. Small badges help. A habit tracker, a simple file with dated entries, a public note. These are anchors that remind you of who you are. The visible trail convinces you on hard days. That is the key. Finally, remember this repeated truth. Identity emerges from repetition. Say it until it becomes true. Do the work until you become the person who does the work. Do it until it fits. You have a choice. You don't need their permission. It's not about talent. It's about discipline. You learned how to force identity. You built tactical steps. You created rituals. You formed a plan to prove who you will be. That matters. That changes outcomes. You mastered the idea that identity follows action. Now, take that new person into a high-pressure reset. Chapter 4. The 30-Day Brutal Reboot. You have a choice. You can drift or you can reset. You have a choice. 30 days is not forever. 30 days is enough. 30 days breaks inertia. 30 days rewires habit. 30 days forces clarity. Say it now. 30 days all in. Repeat it. Mean it. That's the key. This is not drama. This is deliberate. A reboot is a surgical operation. It removes friction. It forces focus. It exposes weaknesses. It reveals what matters. You don't need their permission to begin. Start. The core rule is ruthless simplicity. One strict wake time, one single project, daily accountability, micro-tasks that are impossible to avoid, nightly review, weekly ritual with consequences. The formula is simple. Execution is everything. That's the key. Set a strict wake time. Make it non-negotiable. The alarm defines the day. Wake at the same minute every morning. No snooze, no exceptions. The morning anchors your identity. The morning creates momentum. You have a choice to own the morning. Choose one single project, not 3, not 5. One project that matters most, a product, a portfolio, a skill that will change outcomes. Make it the axis of your 30 days. Everything funnels into that project. Say it aloud. One project, one result. That's the key. Design daily micro-tasks. Make them specific. Make them tiny. Write 500 words. Ship one test page. Record one 60-second video. Micro-tasks remove friction. They remove the excuse of "I don't know where to start." Do the micro-task first, then escalate. Streaks build identity. Streaks build identity. Streaks build identity. Daily accountability is non-negotiable. Report to someone, a friend, a coach, a public channel. Post a one-line update every day. Day 7, shipped headline and CTA. Simple, honest, brutal. Accountability converts private intention into public cost. Public cost reduces cheating. You don't need their permission to post. Use consequence to enforce discipline. Track your streak. Use a calendar. Mark the day complete. A red X, a green check. The visual trail is motivational. It is evidence. Missing one day demands immediate corrective action. Miss one day, do 30 extra minutes the next day, or add a punishment, a donation to a group you despise. Make cost real. That's the key. Nightly review is surgical. 10 minutes, no fluff. Answer 3 questions. What did I finish? What did I learn? What will I do first tomorrow? Write the answers. No story, no blame, only facts. Facts teach faster than feelings. That's the key. Weekly ritual, the consequence and the reward. If you missed no days, reward the week. Small reward only. A coffee, a new book. Keep the reward earned. If you miss days, punish with extra work. Double the micro-tasks. Do the extra work the next weekend. Make missing costly. The pain should sting enough to prevent repeat. Streaks build identity. Publicize progress, not to boast, to create pressure. Share weekly wins. Use a single channel, one post, one update. The market is honest. It will react. You will get feedback. You will get offers. Results compound when you expose progress to reality. Actions outvote applause. Measure output. Pick one metric, not many. Progress in the metric proves the reboot worked. Hours spent is not the metric. Outcomes are. Revenue, pages shipped, lessons finished, tests passed. Count it, track it, report it. Numbers reveal truth. That's the key. Design the environment. Remove temptations. Phone in another room during microtasks. Use a single browser profile for work. Close all tabs not directly required. The environment decides behavior when willpower fails. Engineer your context. You have a choice. Practice extreme honesty. If you cheated the day, mark it, say why, fix the next day. No excuses, no stories. The reboot is about discipline, not motivation. It's not about inspiration, it's about discipline. Say it. It's not about motivation, it's about discipline. Say it again. That's the key. Expect friction. The second week gets loud. Resistance peaks. Your brain fights the new identity. Old habits will whisper comfort. Name the resistance. Call it out. This is resistance. I choose action. Then do the micro-task. The moment you act, the voice loses power. Action is the antidote. You have a choice. Real example, simple pattern. A person wanted a high-value skill. They picked one single course and one project. Every morning for 30 days, they did one focused hour. They posted a short proof every evening. On day 30, they had a portfolio piece. They had interviews. They had offers. The structure outperformed vague learning. The structure forced results. That's the key. Use brutal focus periods, 2 60-minute deep sessions each day. No distraction, no excuses. One session for creation, one session for critique and refinement. Anchor them to time. Protect them jealously. If someone asks for time, refuse. This is your 30-day war. You have a choice. Use small public bets. Set a deadline and promise an outcome. Put money on the line or a public declaration. Stakes compress time. They force behavior. They expose weakness. They also create momentum when you win. The public bet is a tool, not a show. Use it prudently. Keep rituals visible. A paper calendar, a checklist box, a streak counter, a short recorded voice note at the end of each day. Day 12 complete. The simple artifacts keep you honest when fatigue arrives. Streaks build identity. End each day with a tiny deliverable, a screenshot, a saved file, a sent email. Proof matters. Proof beats belief. Proof compounds into reputation. You don't need their permission to deliver proof. Show it. Ship it. The 30-day reboot is brutal by design. It creates scarcity. Scarcity forces priority. In scarcity, you learn what matters. You find leverage points. You find the smallest actions that produce the biggest results. That's the key. You have a choice now. Drift another month or commit to 30 days of brutal focus. Choose the 30. Choose the reset. Choose the ritual. Choose the discipline. You just built a foundation. You started reparations against comfort and identity drift. You reactivated your capacity to change. You proved the system can work when you show up. You committed to 30 days all in. Streaks build identity. You don't need their permission. It's not about comfort. It's about discipline. You finished the reboot. Now take this newly forged focus and guard the most precious resource you have.
Chapter 5. Ruthless Time Ownership. You have a choice. You can let time slip, or you can own it. You have a choice. Time is your scarce capital. Treat it like money. Spend it like an investor, not like a shopper. That's the key. The mistake most people make is confusion between being busy and being productive. Busy is noise. Productive is results. It's not about busy work. It's about discipline. It's not about talent. It's about discipline. Say it. Mean it. Start with a clean audit. For 3 days, track every single block of time in 15-minute slices. No judgment, just facts. Where did minutes go? Meetings, scrolls, email, TV, coffee breaks that turned into hour-long rabbits? You have the data now. The data is merciless. Numbers reveal truth. That's the key. Now the rule. Build 4 daily blocks. 4 blocks only. Creation, learning, outreach, recovery. These 4 blocks cover the work that scales. Own them, protect them, name them on the calendar, block them like meetings, treat them as non-negotiable commitments. You don't need their permission to guard your blocks. Creation block. This is where value is made. Writing, designing, coding, recording. Build, ship. Make one measurable deliverable for each creation block. Not work on, deliver. 1 page, 1 asset, 1 recorded minute. Output only. Measure the deliverable. Own the hour, own the outcome. Learning block. This is skill deposit time. Read 1 chapter. Follow 1 tutorial. Practice 1 sub-skill. Apply 10 minutes to test what was learned. Close the loop between learning and doing. A learning block without application is consumption, not investment. Outreach block. This is leverage time. Pitch, network, email past clients, post a short proof, follow up on leads. 1 clear metric. Contacts made, replies secured, meetings booked. Outreach creates opportunity. No random scrolling disguised as networking. Recovery block. This is not laziness, this is deliberate rest. Deep work requires recovery. Sleep, intentional breaks, short walks, reflective journaling. Recovery preserves creativity. Recovery prevents burnout. Guard recovery like a weapon. It's part of the system. No multitasking inside blocks. None. No threads. 1 tab if possible. 1 tool, 1 intention. Multitasking kills outcomes. Multitasking steals identity. Repeat. Own the hour, own the outcome. This hour is mine. This hour is mine. Say it before each block. Use a 5-minute start ritual for each block. Ritual matters more than willpower. A small habit primes performance. Here is the ritual. Stand up. Breathe deeply for 10 seconds. Read the 1-line intention for the block. Write 500 words on X. Say aloud, "This hour is mine." Set a visible timer. Remove distractions. Close all other apps. Phone on Do Not Disturb. Begin. Ritual enforces the boundary. Ritual creates a neural marker. Ritual makes the hour sacred. That's the key. Calendar blocking is literal. Put colored blocks in your calendar. Treat them like meetings with the future version of you. Protect them. Say no to interruptions. If someone asks for time, weigh it against your blocks. If it costs a creation or learning block, decline. You have a choice. Say, "I can't. I'm in a focused block." No explanation needed. You don't need their permission. Measure output, not busyness. Replace hours worked with deliverables shipped. Track the metric that matters for each block. Creation, deliverables shipped. Pages, assets, commits. Learning, applied experiments completed. Outreach, calls booked, replies, conversions. Recovery, sleep quality, focused minutes, mental readiness. At the end of each day, record 1 line. Metric moved? Yes? No. If no, why not? Fix it tomorrow. Small corrections compound. Streaks matter. Streaks build identity. That's the key. Guard against thieves of time. Notifications, open tabs, unscheduled meetings, low-value social chats. Create friction for comforts. Move the phone to another room during creation. Use a separate browser profile for work. Use an app blocker for social during blocks. The friction redirects behavior toward choice. You have a choice. Batch similar work inside blocks. Do all replies in outreach block. Do small edits in a short batch. Batching reduces context switching. Context switching costs minutes and mental energy. Minutes add up. Energy drains fast. Protect your energy like cash. Own the hour,
own the outcome. Use the power of no. The word is small, its impact is huge. Say no to requests that steal a block. Say no to low-leverage tasks that disguise themselves as urgent. If it does not move your metric, it is not urgent. Prioritize ruthlessly. That's the key. Create a weekly time review. Sunday night, 15 minutes. Answer these 3 questions. Which blocks broke? What stole time? What is next week's single priority? Make a small corrective plan. If a block broke, make up the time within 48 hours. Immediate correction teaches discipline. Delayed correction teaches permissiveness. You have a choice. Leverage others to protect your time. Delegate or automate tasks that can be removed. Outsource low-leverage admin. Use templates for emails. Use checklists for repeated tasks. Design systems so your attention is reserved for where it matters. Systems scale time like compound interest. That's the key. Mind the margin. Schedule little buffers between blocks. 5 minutes to reset. 10 minutes to stretch. Margin prevents spillover. Margin protects rhythm. Rhythm sustains long days. Rhythm scales weeks into months. You have a choice. This is not theoretical. Try a 7-day test. For 1 week, block the 4 daily blocks. Follow the 5-minute ritual. Track the metrics. At the end of 7 days, compare output to the previous week. The difference will be striking. Numbers don't lie. That's the key. Finally, internalize these mantras. Repeat them until they are truth. You have a choice. Own the hour, own the outcome. This hour is mine. This hour is mine. Say it before each block. You've learned to guard minutes like capital. You built a simple, repeatable system to squeeze value from time. You designed your day like an investor designs a portfolio. That matters. That changes outcomes. You owned the hour. Now cut distraction deeper.
Chapter 6. Trade distraction for deep work. You have a choice. You can surrender attention, or you can train it like a muscle. You have a choice. Distraction is identity decay. Shallow hours become a shallow life. Distraction steals momentum. Deep work creates identity. Deep work builds competence. 1 deep hour beats 5 shallow. Say it. 1 deep hour beats 5 shallow. This chapter is a training manual for attention. No theory, no romance. Practical rules, hard edges. Use them. First, admit the truth. The brain will look for easy wins. Notifications promise instant rewards. Tabs whisper novelty. Email offers urgency. That noise masks fear. It hides discomfort. The quiet work feels risky. The loud distraction feels safe. Name it. Call it out. You have a choice. Now the evidence. A single 90-minute uninterrupted session produces more than 5 scattered hours. 1 focused block yields real output. 1 deep hour creates learnings you can apply tomorrow. The math is brutal. Less time, more result. 1 deep hour beats 5 shallow. That's the key. Rule 1. Build a no-signal zone. Create a physical or virtual space where interruptions are impossible. Phone in another room. Wi-Fi disabled if needed. Browser in a single profile with only work tabs. Headphones on. A visible token, a red card, a hat, a lamp. Signals do not disturb. The token is sacred. When it is up, it is up. No exceptions. You don't need their permission to protect your zone. Rule 2. Schedule anchor sessions. Pick the same time every workday. Make it your anchor. Morning anchors are best. The brain cues itself. Habits form faster with consistency. 2 sessions per day is ideal. 1 for creation, 1 for refinement. Start with 60 minutes. Move to 90. 1 deep hour beats 5 shallow. Repeat that phrase until it is true.
Rule 3. Enforce the token ritual. Before the session, stand, breathe, raise the token, say aloud, 1 deep hour, no interruptions. Start the timer. Work without judgment. No tab switching, no inbox checks, no social. If the mind wanders, bring it back, gentle, immediately. Focus is a trained response. Repetition builds it. That's the key. Rule 4. Micro goals inside deep work. Do not enter the zone without a target. Write 700 words. Complete the landing page skeleton. Finish the interface flow for screens 1 through 3. Targets make discipline non-negotiable. Measure completion, not effort. End the session with a clear artifact. Proof matters. That's the key. Rule 5. Manage energy, not just time. Deep work requires fuel. Sleep first. Eat decently. Short movement before the session sharpens focus. Caffeine can help, but habits beat hacks. Build a pre-session ritual. 90 seconds to prime your state. Breathe. Set the intention. Then begin. This small ritual compounds. Rule 6. Use deliberate boundaries with people. Tell the few people that matter your session times. Tell them once, enforce politely. I'm in a focus session 9 to 10. I'll reply after. No long explanations, no apologies. You don't need their permission. You only need to guard your work. Rule 7. Measure distractions like a quality metric. Count interruptions. Record the reason. Track the time lost. At the end of the week, ask how many interruptions, how many minutes wasted, what pattern repeats. Data removes excuses. The answer shows weak points. Fix them. Tactics to reduce internal sabotage. Make consumption a scheduled block. No passive feeds during deep work. Feed hours belong in learning blocks. Use a single-tab full-screen editor or distraction-free app. Force the view that supports output. Pre-write the first 5 minutes, an opening sentence, a structure, a first task. The first 5 minutes are the hardest. Pre-plan them. If a thought strikes, buy X or reply to Y. Capture it on a one-line note and return to work. Capture, then continue. Tactics to reduce external sabotage. Shared calendars visible to others. Mark focus sessions as blocked. Deep work. Use Do Not Disturb on devices. Use notification rules. Only specific contacts bypass during emergencies. Make small physical changes. Power strip for phone charging in another room. A sign on the door. Headphones with noise canceling. The mental reframing that wins. Treat distraction like a tax on your future self. Every interruption is a withdrawal from tomorrow's skill account. Every completed deep session is a deposit. Invest daily. That's the key. Now the creative rule, the pressure test. Once you have 10 clean deep sessions, add a public pressure test. Set a small public deadline tied to the session. Finish the draft and post a short proof. Public pressure amplifies focus. It converts private energy into external consequence. But beware, the public test is a tool, not the goal. The goal is craft. You must also accept boredom. Deep work is not always thrilling. The middle minutes are often mundane. That threshold is the signal of growth. Push past it. The mind rewards novelty. Training attention is the way to force exhaustion of novelty seeking. The reward is mastery. 1 deep hour beats 5 shallow. Repeat it. This is not about talent. It's not about inspiration. It's not about having the perfect chair or a golden laptop. It's not about setup. It's not about tools. It's about discipline. It's not about distraction. It's about discipline. Say it. It's not about talent, it's about discipline. That's the key. Practical day plan you can start tomorrow. Choose 2 anchor sessions, 9 to 10, 3 to 4:30. Create the no signal zone. Phone out of reach, token visible, timer set. Define a micro target for each session, 1 clear deliverable. Do the ritual,
Start, work, end with proof. Save the artifact. Log interruptions and time lost. Review at weekend. Adjust. Expect regression. Expect excuses. Old habits are comfortable. Name the lie. I'll do it later. Refuse it. Replace with action. You have a choice. Repeat the phrases until they become truth. 1 deep hour beats 5 shallow. You have a choice. You don't need their permission. Protect the zone. Protect your attention. Protect your results.
Chapter 7. Outsource weakness, build systems. You have a choice. You can rely on willpower, or you can design systems. You have a choice. Willpower is finite. Systems are infinite. That's the truth. That's the key. Willpower gets exhausted. Systems don't. Systems work when energy is low. Systems win when willpower fails. Say it. Mean it. This chapter is a manual. No fluff, no philosophy. Real rules, real actions. If you want consistent results, stop treating discipline like a heroic act. Design the system. Skip the drama. Design the system. Skip the drama. Start with a simple question. What do you do again and again? List it. Shipping, invoicing, client intake, social posts, meal decisions, email replies. Anything repeated is a candidate for a system. You have a choice. Decide to automate or simplify. Rule 1. Remove decisions. Decision fatigue kills high-leverage work. Decide once. Freeze the rule. Use it until it breaks. Examples. Wear the same work outfit for focus days. Meal prep lunches on Sunday. Block the same hours for deep work every day. Each frozen decision saves dozens of small choices. Those saved choices become energy for creative work. That's the key. Rule 2. Template everything. Templates scale. Templates cut friction. A pitch template, an onboarding checklist, a deliverable folder with named files ready. Use templates for repeated outputs. A freelance studio used a 5-step template for client delivery. They cut production time in half. Revenue rose. Stress fell. Template equals leverage. Design the system. Skip the drama. Rule 3. Create checklists. Checklists catch mistakes. Checklists prevent rework. Use checklists for launch steps, post-production, client handoffs. Make them rigid, tick boxes only. No room for improvisation on rote tasks. The checklist guarantees quality while you focus on high-level decisions. Systems win when willpower fails. Rule 4. Automate simple workflows. Use the tools you already have. Autoresponders for common inquiries, calendar links to avoid scheduling ping-pong, recurring invoices, simple automations that move data between apps. You don't need complex engineering. Simple automation reduces repetitive friction. Design the system. Skip the drama. Rule 5. Delegate ruthlessly. Identify low-leverage tasks that someone else can handle. Admin, formatting, research, basic editing. Hire a VA. Trade time for a multiplier. If $15 an hour frees 5 hours of your high-leverage work, you just bought growth. Delegation is not abdication. It is investment. You have a choice. Tactical sprint you can run this week. Pick 5 repeated tasks from last month. For each task, ask template, checklist, automation, delegate. Build 1 template and 1 checklist. Launch 1 small automation, calendar link, or auto reply. Hire or assign 1 low-leverage task to someone else or to a paid service. Schedule the weekly system review. 30 minutes, no interruptions. The weekly system review is non-negotiable. 30 minutes, block it like an executive meeting. Use this script. Minute 0 to 5, open your system list. Quick scan. Minute 5 to 15, which friction points cost time last week? Note them. Minute 15 to 25,
Pick one friction point, create a template, checklist, or tiny automation to fix it. Minute 25 to 30, schedule implementation, assign ownership, close. Do this every Sunday, 30 minutes, no drama. Systems win when willpower fails. Now the mindset reset. Systems are not a bypass for ambition. They are the engine for it. You will feel resistance. That's not how I like it. I do it faster myself. That is the usual lie. Test your claim. Time the task. If someone else can do it in the same quality for less time, delegate it. If a template cuts your delivery in half, keep the template. You have a choice. Real-world example. A freelancer spent 3 hours polishing proposals. They built a 5-section proposal template. The first week, it took discipline to use it. The second week, they sent twice as many proposals. The third week, conversion rose because they refined the template with A/B tweaks. The result? More clients, less burnout. Design the system, skip the drama. Use micro-automation to enforce standards, naming conventions, folder templates, pre-written email snippets, keyboard shortcuts, a folder in the cloud titled In Progress that triggers a checklist. Small nudges add up. They remove the mental overhead of remembering and deciding. That's the key. Guard against sloppy systems. A system that creates work is a broken system. If your automation creates more checks than it removes, kill it. Prune. Simplify. The weekly review exists to prune. Good systems are invisible until they break. They should reduce cognitive load. They should make action inevitable. Measure the impact. Systems are not aesthetics. They must move metrics. Time saved, error rate down, deliverable speed up, conversion up. If a system does not measurably improve a metric, change it. Be ruthless. The metric is the truth. You have a choice. Build a small system playbook. One document, short, practical. For each recurring process, include purpose, owner, checklist, template link, and improvement notes. Keep the playbook less than 3 pages per process. Keep it accessible. Teach it to anyone who covers for you. Systems that live in your head are fragile. Systems on paper survive stress. The rituals matter. At the end of every workday, do a 2-minute reset. Capture any repeatable tasks you did. Add them to the playbook. Small capture, small update. Compounded weekly, that 2-minute habit builds a fortress of operational leverage. Systems win when willpower fails. Repeat it. Cultural rule for teams and partners. Reward systems, not drama. Praise the person who reduces friction, not the person who survives it. Celebrate shortcuts that preserve quality. This changes incentives. Cultures follow incentives. If you work with others, make the value of systems explicit. Make it measurable. Finally, accept the compounding. Systems compound like interest. A template today saves an hour every week for months. Delegation frees your attention for strategic growth. Automation removes friction that once burned your focus. That compound builds momentum. That momentum makes the 6-month plan inevitable. That's the key. Remember, you have a choice. Design the system. Skip the drama. Systems win when willpower fails. You don't need their permission to automate your life. It's not about heroics. It's about discipline. It's not about busyness. It's about leverage. Say it out loud. Systems win when willpower fails. You designed and deployed systems. You removed decisions. You protected attention. You hired leverage. You created repeatable proof. That changes how you operate. Now take that operational edge and direct it at what you consume.
Chapter 8. Dominate your input. You have a choice. You can let your feed pick you, or you can pick your feed. You have a choice. Everything you read, watch, and listen to shapes what you produce. Garbage in, garbage out. Feed quality, not noise. Feed quality, not noise. Feed quality, not noise. Say it until it sticks.
That is the starting point. This chapter is about discipline, not consumption, not entertainment disguised as research. It's not about information, it's about application. It's not about information, it's application. That's the key. First truth. Most people confuse being informed with being effective. They scroll to feel clever. They binge to feel busy. They collect links to feel like a strategy. None of that creates outcomes. Outcomes come from deliberate input used with purpose. What I consume becomes who I am. What I consume becomes who I am. Repeat it. Start with a purge today. Open your phone or browser. Scan the feeds. The noise will be obvious. Unfollow, unsubscribe, mute, remove. Be surgical. Keep only sources that move you forward. Keep one learning channel. Keep one mentor or course. That's it. You don't need their permission to clean your feed. You have a choice. Now the rule. Build a 90-minute daily input window. 90 minutes, no negotiation. Structured like this. 45 minutes of focused learning. 30 minutes of immediate application. 15 minutes of notes and archive. 45 minutes of learning, not passive scrolling, not watching 10-minute clips every 2 minutes. One source, one topic. Deep reading, a single chapter, one course module, one essay. Take notes while you go. Highlight, pause, think. The goal is mastery of a small chunk. Mastery beats trivia. 30 minutes of application. This is the brutal step. Apply immediately. If you learned a concept, build something with it in 30 minutes. Sketch a wireframe. Write a test case. Draft a cold email applying the template. Make a short demo. Apply. Application converts knowledge into skill. Application reveals gaps. Application forces refinement. It's not about learning, it's about doing. That's the key. 15 minutes of notes and archive. Distill the lesson. Write one-line takeaways. Save 2 actionable steps. Put them in your playbook. Tag them with date and context. If it applies to a current project, link it. If it doesn't, tag it for later. Archive is not hoarding. Archive is building a usable library. What I consume becomes who I am. This 90-minute window is non-negotiable. Make it a block on your calendar. Name it input, learning, apply, archive. Protect it. Treat it like a meeting with your future competence. No meetings eat this time. No notifications, no tabs that do not support the learning. You have a choice. Own it. Now the curation strategy. Replace feeds with fidelity. Choose one learning source for 6 months, not a buffet. One source, one mentor, one course for 6 months. Rotate only when it is exhausted. This prevents shallow hopping. It forces depth. Real example. Someone replaced passive tech feeds with one systems design course and one senior mentor podcast. 6 months later, they built a product spec that raised funding. Depth beat novelty. Feed quality, not noise. Choose your mentor carefully. It can be an author, a course leader, a thought leader, or a single industry newsletter. The mentor must have a record. The mentor must model outcomes, not just ideas. Consume their work analytically. Question it. Test it. Learn from it. You don't need their permission to follow someone. You do need discernment. Measurement matters. Track inputs the same way you track outputs. Log the 90-minute windows. Note the source, the lesson, the applied artifact. At the end of each week, ask, how many inputs turned into outputs? How many notes were archived into the playbook? If the ratio is low, change the source or the application method. Numbers expose lies. That's the key. Build a playbook, a living document, short, practical, searchable. It is not a journal. It is a tactical manual. Each entry, title, source, one-line summary, 2 action steps, tags, project link. Keep it simple. Use folders or tags. Make it easy to retrieve. When you face a problem, search the playbook before you search the web. The playbook reduces replay. It makes learning cumulative. What I consume becomes who I am. Weekly reinforcement is mandatory. Every Sunday, write a "What Changed" memo to yourself. 1 paragraph, 1 result, 1 lesson, 1 next action. Keep it blunt. Examples. This week, replaced social feed with course A. Built landing draft using concept X. Result, clearer UX and 1 client call. Post it privately or email it to 1 accountability partner. The memo creates pressure and crystallizes progress. Repeat, what I consume becomes who I am. Guard against shiny object syndrome. If a new course tempts you, ask 3 questions before buying or following. Will this feed the current priority? Will it replace an existing source or add noise? Can I apply at least 1 lesson within 48 hours? If the answer to any is no, ignore it. Discipline equals sacrifice. That's the key. Use micro-tests to validate sources. Spend 3 days on a new source. Do the 45, 30, 15 routine. If after 3 days the output is real, keep it. If not, kill it. Rapid validation prevents library bloat. It saves months of wasted attention. You have a choice. Use the input window to practice synthesis. At the end of application, write a 1-sentence rule you can teach someone in 5 minutes. Teaching proves understanding. If you cannot teach it concisely, you haven't learned it. Teach it to yourself. Teach it aloud. Teaching accelerates mastery. Limit passive entertainment. Leave reward watching for recovery blocks. If a piece of content entertains but does not build you, schedule it after work. Do not mix it with learning. The brain learns to associate inputs with context. Train it to associate the input window with growth. Feed quality, not noise. Leverage other people's filters. Curated newsletters and course syllabi save time. Use them as starting points, but do not treat them as substitutes for the 45-minute deep read. Curators are shortcuts. Use the shortcut to find raw material. Then dig into the source. That's the key. Finally, take ownership. You don't need their permission to control your inputs. You don't need permission to build a playbook. You have a choice. Make the 90-minute window non-negotiable. Make the playbook sacred. Make the weekly memo mandatory. What I consume becomes who I am. You disciplined your intake. You replaced noise with a plan. You converted consumption into creation. That shifts your trajectory. You dominated your input. Now turn failure into a fast teacher.
Chapter 9. The Feedback Loop of Failure. You have a choice. You can hide mistakes or you can mine them. You have a choice. Failure is the fastest curriculum. It teaches when you process it. It punishes when you ignore it. Fail fast, fix faster. Fail fast, fix faster. Fail fast, fix faster. Say it. Live it. This chapter is a method, no pity, no excuses, a brutal, repeatable loop you run every time you miss the mark. Convert every misstep into a short post-mortem. That is the work. That is the craft. That's the key. First, change the definition. Failure is not final. Failure is data. Failure is fuel. The world rewards people who learn faster. The world punishes people who repeat the same error. You don't need their permission to inspect your mistakes. You do need discipline to act. It's not about shame. It's about process. It's not about talent. It's about discipline. Say that.
Say it until it sticks. The core loop is 3 steps: short, brutal, repeatable. Observe. What happened? Diagnose. Why did it happen? Experiment. What is the next tiny corrective move? Write it down. No essays, no whining. 1 page, 3 bullets. Timestamp it. Done. Observe. Be precise. Numbers first. What metric failed or missed? Conversion down by 3%. Deadline late by 2 days. Customer churned after 1 month. Skill test score unchanged. State facts. Remove story. Facts teach faster than feelings. You have a choice to be honest. Diagnose. Ask narrow questions. Was the hypothesis wrong? Was the execution sloppy? Did the system fail? Did input quality drop? Was the metric unrealistic? Use the 5 whys. Push until you hit the root. If you stop at excuses, you fail again. That's the key. Experiment. Propose 1 tiny test, not a grand plan, a small, measurable correction you can run within 72 hours. Change the headline. Tighten the delivery process. Ship 2 variants. Add a 15-minute QA step. Pick 1 variable. Test it. Measure it. Fail fast. Fix faster. Now the ritual. Make it ritualized and public when possible. Do not rely on memory. Do not rely on willpower. Sunday, a 20-minute failure review. Do it every Sunday. 20 minutes is non-negotiable. Use this script. Minute 0 to 3, open the week's outcomes. Pull numbers. Minute 3 to 8, flag every miss, big and small. 2 lines each. Minute 8 to 15, diagnose 1 root cause per miss. Keep it tight. Minute 15 to 20, set 1 corrective micro-experiment for the week. Assign it. Time box it. Record the postmortems. Store them in your playbook. Tag them by project and date. When doubt arrives, open the file. The archive teaches you faster than the best mentor. You have a choice. Monday, a 5-minute corrective commitment. Say it aloud. Post it to 1 person. This week I will test X to fix Y. Short, sharp, public. The 5-minute commit forces accountability. It converts thought into pressure. Use it. Use measurable metrics for every experiment. Conversion, revenue, skill time, completion rate, number of sends, clicks, time on task. Choose the metric that actually matters. Do not confuse activity with evidence. Activity is busy work. Evidence is numbers. That's the key. Example in practice. A small studio had conversion drop after a launch. Instead of excuses, they ran the loop. They pulled data. They found the hero image confused users. Root cause. They tested 2 new hero images. 1 test ran for 72 hours. Conversion rose 6%. They iterated the layout. Revenue recovered within 2 weeks. They documented the post-mortem and the test. Then they made a template for future launches to avoid the same mistake. Fail fast, fix faster. Another example. A writer published daily, but engagement stalled. The writer ran the loop, observed the drop in reading time, diagnosed that opening hooks were weak, experimented with 3 new hooks for the next week, measured reading time. 1 hook increased retention by 18%. The writer adopted that pattern. Small tests, big results. That is the pattern. Make experiments small. The smaller the change, the less your ego, the faster the learning. Tiny changes expose cause and effect. Big changes bury the signal. You want signal. You want fast feedback. Fail fast, fix faster. Guard against 2 errors. Error 1, analysis paralysis. Too much thinking, no action. The antidote is time-boxed diagnosis. 10 minutes to diagnose, then pick 1 tiny test. Do not debate forever. Error 2, vanity experiments. Big, showy tests that feel important, but don't move your key metric. If it does not affect the metric, it is theater. Cut the theater. Focus on metrics. That's the key. Create a failure taxonomy. Not all failures are equal. Classify them. execution, hypothesis, system, input, external shock. Each class has a preferred fix type. Execution, tighten process or add checklist. Hypothesis, smaller A/B tests. System, automate or template. Input, improve the feed or mentor. External shock, contingency protocols. When you classify fast, you act faster. Use the 1-week probe framework. Run the micro-experiment for 1 week. If it moves the metric, scale. If it doesn't, scrap it and try another micro-experiment. Keep iterations frequent. Speed beats perfect. This is not reckless. This is disciplined testing. Fail fast, fix faster. Track learning rate, not just success. Ask weekly, how many experiments ran? How many signaled a clear result? How many led to a template or system change? The learning rate shows progress better than the occasional win. High learning rate equals compounding improvement. That's the key. Publicize the right things. Share your post-mortem when it helps others, not to confess, to teach. Transparency attracts insight. It also invites outside solutions. But be selective. Share the distilled lesson and the corrective step, not the self-flagellation. Language matters. Use corrective language, not blaming language. We misread the headline performance, corrected by testing 2 designs, not we failed because the team sucked. Blame kills learning. Neutral language speeds it. Correct, continue. Correct, continue. Repeat it. The emotional part matters. Failure hurts. That is normal. Honor the feeling, then do the work. Do not wallow. A short ritual helps. 5 deep breaths, 2 sentences of fact, then the diagnostic. Emotions settle when the brain sees a plan. You have a choice. Finally, the long view. Failure loops compound. Each tiny correction reduces future error. Each post-mortem becomes a lesson in your playbook. Over months, the archive becomes a manual of what works and what doesn't. That archive is unfair advantage. That archive is momentum. Fail fast, fix faster. You have a choice. You learned how to turn mistakes into momentum. You built a short, repeatable loop. You created ritual and public consequence. That's the key. Correct, continue. Now take that iterative power and point it at the final stretch. Chapter 10. 6 months or nothing. You have a choice. Treat growth like a hobby, or treat it like a contract. You have a choice. This chapter is the line in the sand. Not 30 days, not a burst of motivation. 6 months. 6 months all in. Repeat it until it burns into your routine. 6 months all in. Why 6 months? Because change needs pressure and time. 30 days wakes you up. 90 days builds momentum. But 6 months rewires identity. 6 months is long enough to break old habits and install new ones. 6 months is short enough that excuses expire. That's the key. Most people quit before the compound effect shows up. They stop in month 2. They stall in month 3. They celebrate too early. Then they drift back to comfort. You will not drift. You will not negotiate. 6 months, all in. This is not about passion. It's not about inspiration. It's about commitment. It's about discipline. You don't need their permission. You need a plan. The execution map is simple. 6 months. Each month has a mission. Each week has wins. Each day has non-negotiables. Month 1. Reboot. You strip away chaos. You reset the foundation. Wake time becomes strict. Inputs become clean. Comforts are reduced. The systems begin. The 30-day brutal reboot you learned earlier becomes the launch pad. This month is about discipline, not results. You build the schedule. You track the hours. You start the identity work. You repeat 1 sentence every morning. This is the new baseline. Month 2. Systemize. Now you remove friction. Systems replace willpower. You build templates. You build checklists. You automate what can be automated. The routines become smoother. The work becomes faster. Remember the rule. Design the system, skip the drama. This is the month where chaos starts disappearing. The hours you own become productive hours. The structure becomes visible. Own the hour. Own the outcome. Month 3. Scale. Now the engine grows. You increase output. You double the experiments. You refine what works. The feedback loops start working faster. Fail fast. Fix faster. This is where many people slow down. The early excitement fades. Resistance grows. But you already know the rule. Lose a little comfort. Gain a lot of life. So you push through. You increase the reps. You expand the work. Month 4. Deepen. Now the craft sharpens. Instead of doing more things, you do the right things better. You study the details. You improve the quality. Feed quality, not noise. This is the mastery phase. Fewer distractions, more focus. The work becomes cleaner. The output becomes sharper. Identity starts to shift. You are no longer trying to become the person. You are the person doing the work. Do it until it fits. Month 5. Publicize. Now the world starts to see it. You document progress. You share insights. You show proof of work. You open the door for opportunity. This is not bragging. This is signal. When you publish the process, people notice the discipline. When you show results, people see credibility. Silence built the engine. Visibility now fuels it. But remember, the work still comes first. Month 6. Polish and launch. This is the proving month. You refine everything. You finalize the system. You present the final deliverable. The project launches. The portfolio ships. The product goes live. The skill becomes visible. 6 months of discipline become one undeniable result. Finish the 6 months, then the world notices. And now let's talk about the structure that makes this commitment real. Daily non-negotiables. These are the actions that happen no matter what. Rain or chaos, mood or fatigue. 3 to 5 actions only. Create, learn, execute, track. That's the rhythm. If the day feels difficult, simplify the rule. Just show up. Identity follows actions. Weekly wins. Every week must produce evidence, not intentions, evidence. A completed task, a finished design, a shipped project, a measurable improvement. Wins compound confidence. Confidence compounds consistency. At the end of every week, write it down. What moved forward this week? If nothing moved, you correct immediately. Correct, continue. Monthly milestones. Each month must produce a visible shift. Month 1 gives structure. Month 2 builds systems. Month 3 increases output. Month 4 sharpens mastery. Month 5 builds visibility. Month 6 delivers proof. 6 months, all in. Now comes the final discipline, accountability. Without it, motivation fades. You make a public declaration, not a vague statement, a clear commitment. This is what will be built in 6 months. Then you schedule weekly check-ins, not emotional check-ins, performance check-ins. Did the actions happen? Did the metrics move? Did the project grow? If the answer is no, you adjust. Correct? Continue. The final step is the deliverable. 6 months must end with proof. A portfolio, a launched product, a body of work, a skill level that didn't exist before. Something real, something visible, something undeniable. Because discipline without proof is just intention. Proof creates reputation. Reputation creates opportunity. Opportunity changes life trajectory. That's the key. Most people wait for the perfect moment, the perfect resources, the perfect energy. But momentum never comes from waiting. Momentum comes from decision. You have a choice. 6 months of distraction or 6 months of transformation. 6 months of noise or 6 months of deliberate focus. 6 months, all in. Remember every principle from this book. Comfort costs, action pays. Lose a little comfort, gain a lot of life. Own the hour, own the outcome. Design the system, skip the drama. Feed quality, not noise. Fail fast, fix faster. Correct, continue. These are not ideas, they are tools. Use them daily. Use them relentlessly. Use them for 6 months. Finish the 6 months, then the world notices. And when those 6 months end, something powerful happens. You realize the truth. The discipline didn't just build the result. The discipline built you. This was not a pep talk. This was a plan. 6 months of deliberate days, stacked rituals, and unapologetic choices. Stop explaining, start doing. Cut the comforts that hold you back. Own your mornings, own your hours, own your actions, and your identity will follow. Run the 30-day reboots, build systems, kill distraction, dominate your input, and turn every failure into a fix. The math is simple. Small daily victories compound into a new life. Now the challenge. Write 6 months where you will see it. Announce it publicly, and do the first action from this plan before the hour ends. No excuses, no delays. If that stung, good. Hit like. If you're ready to change everything, subscribe to Mindshift audiobooks and turn on notifications. Give yourself 6 months. Change everything today. Report back with your wins. Start now. Finish relentless today.